Hello and welcome back. This is Dan playing Kerbal Space Program again. This is video 2. I was going to build a ship or a rocket to get into orbit, and I was going to do a video on how to actually get into orbit. Unfortunately, the last video was only a suborbital flight. I'm sure I have a lot of people laughing at me for that. But it's okay because I'm going to build an orbital spacecraft right now. And instead of just launching it, I'm going to actually go through how to build it. So what I've done is I've selected the three-man crewed capsule. You can see it's got a little hatch up here, some ladder slots there, so the Kerbals can climb out. It's that EVA thing I think we were talking about in our last video. So what we're going to do is we want to control this, right? It's in space, so we want to control it. We need that autopilot. But we also want to be able to separate it first. So before we put on any kind of other function, we got to remember that this capsule will re-enter, and we want to separate everything attached from the capsule from that point. And as we come back down, we've got these cool radial mounted parachutes. I like the Apollo style. I'm going to add 3 of those right there. Oh, wait, there we go. Yeah, just like that. That's perfect. A little crooked. Perfect enough. Alright, come on, why not? Let's overkill with the parachutes. Why not? We're going to be flying this thing by the seat of our pants. How about that? Okay, so here's our SAS module, advanced SAS module. It's large scale. This is what we use for our big capsule, and we're ready to go. So now we want a little bit of a command module. Let me turn that off. Oh, down here we have buttons. Just explain those real quick. This is symmetry mode. We can actually add 2 of these. So if we wanted to mount them on the sides, or 3 or 4, I think it goes up to, what is it, 8? Yeah, 8. And then we can actually set up an angle, so it'll try and set it up so if we add, for instance, those parachutes, we could add them around, or we can actually create flat surfaces for that to align to. But for this, we're going to be making a little command module with a service module. So there we go. Have a little. We want that rocket. There we go. That's the Poodle liquid engine, the little Poodle, and some RCS thrusters. We'll do 4 quads, just like a traditional Apollo-style capsule. There we go. Well, that's it right there. There's our Apollo command and service module. And now we want to try and we'll add another decoupler there so we can separate the stack. And we want to get into something large. Now, we're going to be adding these stages. We want another control there. We're going to be adding these stages so that we can actually get into space. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I've had very little luck with too heavy of a second stage and a third stage. So we're going to bring this up. And then we're going to come back down, and we're going to do the same thing as last time. We'll add a decoupler. Boom. And another control. Come down. I always add the X200 fuel tank first, just because I like the way it looks. I think it has a cool look to it. There's no other reason than that. I'm probably an idiot. Okay, some radial decouplers. These are really great. These are what our solid rocket boosters and even strap-on liquid boosters will attach to. Here we have some solid rocket boosters. We're going to mount these onto our struts there. We'll add some control surfaces. Boom. And then, let's make these recoverable. Let's bring these back to Earth. There we go. I think those are actually just drogue chutes. I'm not sure. Either way, like I said, I haven't played this an enormous amount. kind of flying by the seat of our pants here when we're playing with this. Okay, so there we go. It's a pretty straightforward setup vehicle. You know, everything's drag and drop. We've got our main engine here. We've got 4 strap-on boosters to help get us off the pad. We've got a decoupler here, a second engine here, and then in our second stage, and then we've got our command module attached to the service module and its small engine. And in the utility section, we've got battery packs, we've got docking modules, little sort of shuttle cargo bay thing there. I think it's got a little arm that reaches out and grabs stuff. Again, haven't played with it that much. Landing struts, have used these. These are great for landing on surfaces and things like that. Again, most of my landings end in a crash, so not really very useful for that. But I'm figuring it out as we go, and hopefully you're figuring it out with me as we go as well. Now, it's interesting to point out that this vertical assembly building here is actually adjacent to a horizontal assembly building used for a space plane hangar, essentially. And we've got some jet engines and some wings and some control services, aerodynamic control services here that really let us build a space plane if we wanted to. If you think getting into space with one of these is difficult, try and build a space plane. I have had even less luck with those. Again, it just stems from not really playing this that much. And you know what? I'm going to add some of these right here. Little veneer control rockets help keep our attitude during launch. And, you know, really, it's just trial and error. It's playing around with it. Dream however you'd like and build whatever you'd like with this. That's the interesting thing with this game is, you know, all of these different options, and they're always updating it. There's a nuclear rocket here, like the Nerva, and over here we've got an aero spike. Some more some other options for solid rocket boosters, and in fact there's even an ion engine, which is pretty interesting. It's actually really cool. I actually have a satellite orbiting the sun that has the ion engine on it, and you know, it's the limitless options of this game. So just play around with it, and you can really build a lot of different combinations. I think that's about it. The next step will be launching this thing and seeing if we can get into orbit and re-enter. Again, I'm Dan. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.